Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting tutorial. I'm Zudi. In this tutorial, we're going to learn to build a very simple login and sign up form using React.js. So this is basically what we're going to be building. This is a very simple and unique login and sign up form that we're going to build. Okay, so on the left side we have this illustration here, and then on the right side we have the actual form. So we have all of this input field right here. We have the header. We have this input field where you can enter, and then you can enter password. Okay, so if you click on create account, you're going to have the sign up form, okay, where user can enter their username, their email, and then enter a password as well. Okay, so this is basically what we're going to learn to build in this tutorial. So let's get started. So when the user clicks on login, they're going to get login here, and then in the bottom they're going to have sign in, and if they click on create account, they're going to get sign up at the header, and then sign up here as well with the username included. So let's get to it. So first, you're going to open any editor of your choice. I'm going to be using VS Code. So I'm going to navigate to my terminal or open a new terminal. I just need to expand this. Okay. Now I'm going to change directory to my desktop. Then I'll change directory to the folder where I want to create the project. So I have a folder for YouTube projects. So I'm just going to change directory to this, and then I'm going to create the React app. So here we're going to run this command: npm create vit at latest. The name of the app is going to be login app hyphen templates React. Okay, make sure you're connected to the internet to do this. Now you're going to change directory to the app you just created, login app. Then you're going to run this command: npm install. So this is going to install all the necessary dependencies to build a React app. So this is building. So now that we've finally installed this, we're going to navigate to the folder that we've created. So here I'll click on open folder, and then I navigated to my desktop. I created the folder in YouTube projects. So the name of the app is login app. Select the folder and then open it in VS Code. So we're here now. Let's see, we have our source file, we have our assets, app.jsx. So let's see if our React app is working. Navigate to a new terminal here. You just click on this, and then you're going to run this command: npm run dev. So this is going to provide a link where you're going to access, that you can use to access your app in your local browser. So hover on the link and then click on follow link. So our React app is working. This is the basic. So this is working. Now let's do some cleanup. Okay, back to our code. I'm just going to collapse this. Then let me reduce this as well. Okay, so our app.jsx, we use RESC. This is going to create a React snippets for us. Click on enter. To use this RESC shortcut, you need this extension. You need this extension, EX7 React native extension. Okay, so do well to install the extension. So I'm going to close this back, open this again. My index is CSS as well. I'm going to clean this. Then for the entire folder, I'm going to set the margin to 0 and the padding to 0 as well. Okay. Now in the source folder, I'll create a folder for login. And then in the login folder, we're going to create login.gsx and login.css. So for login.gsx, RFC, click enter. Then I'm going to mount my login file in my app.gsx. So here, login, and login has been imported right here. Okay, so now back to our browser. This is what we have. We have login here because we mounted the login folder, the login in our app.gsx. Okay, so let's see. This is what we need. Okay, first we need to get this font. So here, Google Fonts. Just click on Google Fonts, press enter. I've already selected the fonts earlier, so the font that we're going to be using is this Roboto Slab. I don't know how it's pronounced, so just ensure that you look for these fonts. click on this get fonts button and then click on the get embedded code. Okay, then you click on this import row here so that you can copy this. So back here in our index of CSS, for the entire body, we're going to, before that, we need to paste this here. Okay, the import row we copied. Now back to our browser. So I'm just going to copy this as well. And then back here, we're going to paste this. So for the entire body, we're using this font family. And the font width, I'm going to set it to 500. 500. Okay. And then box sizing here will be a border box. Okay. Now, let's start with the main login. So first, I'm going to delete this. And then I'm going to create a div tag with a class name of login container. So dot login container. In our login container, we have two sections. We have the image section and we have the form section. So I'm going to create two div tags. So the first one is going to take image section, and the second one is going to take form section. Okay, so for the image section, we're going to add the image. Well, we're adding this image as a background image. So we're going to set the image with CSS. Okay, so now to the form section, which is the left section. First, we need to display the header. So I'm going to use an H2 tag. Then I'm just going to give it login. So after displaying the header, we need the login form. So I'll create a form tag. Okay. And I'm just going to give this hash. And I'm going to give it a class name of login form. So within this form container, we're going to have the username, the email, and the password. Okay. So here I'm going to have a label tag. So here, label, this is going to be for name, and the label is going to take username. And then we're going to have an input field, and it's going to take text. Okay, so the name, I'm just going to delete this name here, and the ID is going to be name. The placeholder is going to be for username. Let me collapse this so that we'll have a bigger screen. Okay, and then this is going to be required. Okay, then we're going to have another one as well. Label, and this is going to be for email. This is going to take email, and we'll have another input field, and this input field will be for text. For email, the ID is going to be email, and the placeholder is going to be example@gmail.com. And for the last one, we're going to have for password. So label, this is going to be for password. The label text is going to be password, and our input field here will be for password as well. The ID as well is going to be password, and the placeholder is going to be password, and this is required as well. The email is also required, so I'm going to add required here as well. Okay, and then we have the option section. So I'm going to create a div tag. I'll give the class name of options. So here we're going to have the text for forget passwords. So here, forget passwords. The text itself is going to be forget passwords. And also we're going to have another text to create account or to log in. So first we need the text to create an account, since we're using login now. So this is going to be create accounts. So after this option, we're going to have the button. And this button is a submit type because we want to submit, and it's going to take login. Okay, so this is what we have now. So right here on the screen, this is what we have. We need to style it so that it can look like this, and then we're going to work on the logic to ensure that when users click on login, they can log in, and if they click on create accounts, they're going to have the sign up form. So let's start. Okay, so first we need the image that is going to be here in our image section, and this is the image that we're going to be using. So right here, I'm just going to copy this image and paste it in our asset folder. Okay, so let's style now. Login.css. Before styling, we need to import our CSS file into our JSS file. /login.css. Okay, now let's style. First, we're going to style the login container. Copy this and paste this here. So display here is going to be flex. Height, we take 100 VH. Now have the image section as well. So for the image section, flex will be 1. And then the background image, we're using the URL. So here, we're going to ./, we're getting it from our asset folder, and we're using this login.jpg. And the background size is going to be cover. Background position will be center. Then we have this form section right here. So for the form section, flex would also be set to 1. Display here will be flex, and then flex direction will be colon. Justify contents will be center. We want all the content to be at the center. Padding will take 0.50 pixels, and the background color will take this color code. Okay, and then we have this H2 tag here for the form section. So for form section H2, which is the header, margin bottom will take 10 pixels. The font size will take 34 pixels, and the font width has to be bold. We want the text at the center, so text align center. Now the login form itself, display will be flex. Flex direction will be column, and padding of 0.70 pixels. Now we have the label tag. We have like 3 labels here. So I'm just going to copy this. So login form label is a tag. So I'm not going to use dots. Margin 10 pixels, 0.5 pixels. The font size will take 16 pixels, and the text color will take this color code. We also have the input field. Okay. So for login form, inputs, padding will take 10 pixels. Margin bottom will take 15 pixels. And the border will take 1 pixel solid with this color code. The border radius will take 4 pixels. Border radius 4 pixels, and the font size will be 14 pixels. Now for our option section, display will be flex, and then justify content, space between, align items at the center with a margin of 10 pixels. Okay, now we have the forget password as well. Okay, so The text color, we'll take this color code, and the font size will be 16 pixels. And we have the login button. So I'm just going to give this a class name of button login btn. Let me copy this. Background color, we'll take this color code. And the text color will be white. Border, we're going to set it to none. Padding will take 10 pixels. And the font size would be 16 pixels. The font width as well will be bold. And then our border radius will be 4 pixels. While the cursor will be set to pointer. Okay. Now for the options, I'm going to set the cursor to pointer as well. And this is what we have. Okay, so this is what we have here. So if you click on create account here, nothing is happening because we've not worked on the logic. But here with the one that was done, if you click on create account, you can see this. And you can submit without filling this info because it is required, right? So let's work on the logic to ensure that once user click on create account, they would get the sign up page, and if they click on login here, they will get the login page. Okay, so back here, the first thing we're going to do, let me collapse this, is to create a state variable and a theta function that we're going to use to toggle between the login and sign up mode. So here I'm going to create const current states, comma set current states. Okay, so we're using current state and set current state to know which state we are, if we're the login state or if we're on the sign up state. So useState here is going to be login. Okay, so by default we're setting it to login. We're initializing our current state to login. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is the header here will display based on our current state. So here I'm just going to remove login and I'm going to set this as current state. Okay, and then another thing we need to ensure is that once user clicks on, let me show you what I mean. If you click on create account, right, you are getting the user name input field. So we need to ensure that users are only able to see this username, the label, and the input field when they are on the sign up form, like when they want to sign up. So here I'm just going to cut this out, Control X. Let me collapse this, and then I'll open the curly braces. So now I want to check if the current state, we're using a ternary operator to check if the current state is login, then it should display nothing. And if it isn't, I'll open my bracket here. Then I'll create a fragment where in between this, I'm going to paste my username. So if the current state is login, we're displaying nothing. Okay. If it is not login, then we want to display the username and the username input field. Also here in the option container, we have the option for forget password and to create an account. So we want to display this create an account option only when we are on the login page. That is, if the user does not have an account yet, and by default the page they're going to see is the login, they should be able to click on create an account, and then it should link them to the sign up page. Okay, so here as well, Control X, I'm going to do the same thing. Open the curly braces. I want to check if my current state is on login. Okay, I'm going to open the brackets. Then I want to display create an account. And if it isn't, I'll open another bracket here. Then I'll create a p tag. Let me just copy this right here. And then I'll paste it in between this. So this is just going to show login here. Okay, so if our current state is login, we want to display this create an account for the user. Create an account. What do I even say? Create an account. And if it's not that state, we want to display this login here. Okay. And now for the button, it's going to be the same thing. We want to change the button text based on our current states. Okay. So here, the text that's going to be here, I'm going to delete it. Now we're doing the same thing. If current state is login, then the text we want to display is sign in. If it isn't, the text we want to display is sign up. Okay. So now another thing we need to ensure is that when let me show you now, this is what we have now, right? So by default, right now this is working. Our login is showing. We don't have the username as we had it earlier. We only have email and password. But if you click on this create an account now, it's not leading us to the sign up form. So we need to use an on click method to ensure that to create the logic such that when the user clicks on create an account, it should show us the sign up page. And if they click on login here when we're on the sign up page, it should lead them back to the login form. So right here in our p tag, we're going to use an on click, okay, and then create an arrow function, and we're going to call our set current state function, and we're going to update it with login. Okay, so this is to show that when it is on login page, we're setting the current state to login, then it's going to show that it's going to show the user create an account, the text that is going to show. And then for this other one here, no, this is supposed to be sign up. Sorry, come on. Okay, so this is going to be sign up. Okay, so this is showing we're using sign up here because if the ternary operator here is to check that if our current state is on login and the user clicks on create an account, we want to update the new state to sign up. So it's going to show us our sign up page, which includes the username, email, and password. Okay, and then if it isn't, we are going to, if you click on login here, it should show us the login form. So I'm just going to copy this on click function here as well. Paste it here. Okay, and this is going to be for login. Okay, so let me format this here, format the document so that we can see it clearly. Okay, so the idea behind this code here is that we're using a ternary operator, right, to check if our current state is login. Then if the user clicks on create an account, we're updating the current state to the sign up state. Okay, so it's going to display everything for sign up. And if the current state is not login, okay, that's it. That means the current state is sign up and it's displaying login here. If our user clicks on the login, we want to update the state as well to login. So let's see if this is working. So we're right here now. If I click on create an account, we're seeing the sign up page, and if I click on login here, click on this, we're seeing the login page. Okay, so this is a very simple and a very basic. So let me just click on login here as well, so that we can see that this is a very simple and this is very simple. I hope you guys like this. Please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.